Hi, this is Hillary. Um, so yesterday I was wondering if I should have uh, posted that video because I felt like I was being so negative. And the truth of the matter is, I feel great today. And I think if I hadn't have allowed myself, I'm not even going to call it negative. So let's take that out of the vocabulary. I'm going to call it being real. I was frustrated, I was disappointed, and I was upset about the way that my work was going. And by being able to just feel that way, um, today I feel free. I'm actually excited. So I think if I had just pretended I was fine, today would have been more of that. Wait, I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. I hope you don't mind with my Saranac Lake mug. And the other place where I was very real yesterday, and this is part of being real with Hillary, I had a date last night, and I was, um, let's call it pretty fucked up about it. And I just, by being honest about how I felt like I was either gonna hate the guy and be stuck, we were having dinner, or there was just no possibility for me. And when I really got down to it, it was that I was afraid. I was afraid of, I was just afraid. And I was feeling very resigned about it, that there was nothing good could come. Been there, done that, been hurt, not doing it again. But by sharing that with people, I had a couple of phone calls where I could just be real about it. And I could see all I wanted to do was complain to this to the date. Not that I would have, but that's just where I was. Like, I don't even know what. I just felt so resigned. And by talking about it to these people on the phone, I got to see where I was and how there was no possibility. And by the time I actually got to the date, I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to have fun, have a great conversation, and enjoy the night. And I did. And it was really fun. A couple of things. I'm not calling them flags. I'm just saying a couple of things. So it was really nice to have someone that, he had his arm around me, and I had gotten my hair done yesterday. He liked my hair. So it seemed like there was some attraction on his part, and it was nice to be admired. Let's put it that way. It was nice to be admired. Um, and so I told him about some of these guys, the ones that I was upset about last week on the online dating, and he said those guys are scammers. That one of his friends, this guy was doing the same thing. He was actually sending her roses and giving her money at the casino, and then asked her for a whole bunch of money. And so he goes, those are scammers. And now that made so much sense of why they didn't want to meet in person. I mean, they could be in India, and I do know people who've been scammed. They know what to say, and somehow they know when you're vulnerable, and they take advantage of it. So I'm just putting that out as a warning. If somebody doesn't want to get together and they're giving you all sorts of flowery prose, I'll call it that, pages of it, something's amiss. And you can learn from excuse me, uh, learn from my people pleasing, not wanting to hurt their feelings because they were saying that they were widowers. So you don't want to be mean to a widower, right? So they can get away with this. Anyway, that's just an aside. This guy that I went out with, it was really nice. I kind of thank God at one moment for having such a wonderful experience, and then all of a sudden, the okay, I shouldn't say this in case he ever watches it, but all of a sudden his tongue is down my throat in the middle of the restaurant, and I was like, whoa, that's a little soon. It was just awkward. So I spoke up, and that was good, and he stopped. And then the other thing I thought was weird, now this guy has never been married, and he's very nice. He knew all about wine, knew all about food. It was a very extravagant dinner. Um, he paid in cash. He had a wad of hundreds. And I'm like, okay, most people I know use credit cards, so they have a record. Well, cash, there's no record. So I'm not saying it's a flag. I'm just saying it's a heads up to say, that's interesting. So, but it was a very nice night. I had a date. Part of me thinks, okay, I had one. I don't need to have another one for 3 years like last time, but I'm just going to see what opens up. It was nice. It was enjoyable. And by speaking up during the day as to just allowing myself to be where I was, really created some freedom in both those areas with work and with the date. So I just wanted to share that because yesterday I was really feeling like, well, I'm not calling it negative anymore. I was very real yesterday about where I was, and all these people, even this guy, I said, I'm not really a positive person. Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. I said, no, you know what? I'm real. And if I'm not happy about something, I'm not going to pretend because that's just more pleasantry, and that's what I'm attempting to transform with these videos. So, thank you for listening, and I'm going away this weekend. I don't know if I'll be able to record, but have a great time, and don't forget to subscribe, and as always the blog creatinglifeouthere.com where you see the rest of the story. Bye.